Alright, what's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Wonder. We're doing another tier list of the friend variety, and as you might be able to tell by both the title and the characters presented at the bottom here, we are doing Breaking Bad. Yes, one of my favorite shows. Alright, a quick explanation of the various tiers. BFFs is obviously someone who I hold in high regard, could see myself becoming blood bonded with. The crew would sort of be, I guess, a regular group of friends I could see myself going to the bar or having dinner with on a regular occasion. Work friends, on the other hand, are the kinds of people that you're friendly with but wouldn't quite ever actually hang out with. Bitter enemies are people you keep your distance with. You might share a verbal spat every now and then. On site is someone you would attack and come to blows, immediate duel to the death if you come across them out in public. And chopping block is where we're going to be giving our thoughts and sort of negotiating with them where they would place. So, first off, we've got the Walter White himself. Walter White, he has an interesting character growth. He comes from being a cowardly, whatever the opposite of masculine, because that's kind of the whole trajectory of the show. It's like a commentary on what does masculinity do to a person. And we see Walter go from someone who's not quite able to support their family to someone who is able to, but becomes a sort of a monster in the process. I don't quite like him. That's going to be one of the first controversial. This is going to be a pretty controversial list, I know. But my reasoning is he's just frustrating to watch. And upon first watching, you might make the mistake of thinking he's someone you're supposed to root for. Not so. But bitter enemies because, yeah, like I said, he's just frustrating. Yeah, let's just go with his family. Skylar, while upon first watching the show when I was like 15, 16 years old, I absolutely hated her. I was like, oh, why does she want to get in the way of everything Walter does? Think about it like this, realistically. If you found out your husband, made meth and killed people, how would you honestly react to that? I'm gonna put her in work friends just because, like, while I don't see myself forging a bond with this person, obviously she's, Gen X or whatever, it's not gonna work. That and I don't know, I find some aspects of her personality grating, but not so much that I just completely dislike her. Once again, she's a reasonable actor in the situation she's in. Then we've got old Flynn, Walter Jr. His whole thing is the whole teenage angst, been there, done that. And for that, you get better enemies. Yeah, I like where you are. Who is next? Marie. I have an aunt like Marie. Always wants to make things about herself, be the center of attention. If someone's going through hard times, she's got it harder. It's just occurred to me that might not be a good reading of her character, but bitter enemies nonetheless. All right, so next we've got Hank. Hank's sort of character development mirrors that of Walter's, where he starts off a very macho, crude, and gross. But after dealing with some circumstances that sort of affect his day-to-day life, he's able to learn to rely more on others, and through that, solve the whole Heisenberg case. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. That being said, what's once seen cannot soon be forgotten, and while, yes, he does do great things later on, he does start off in the beginning quite unbearable. So, bitter enemies he goes. Let's see, is there anyone else directly related to Walt? We got this guy. I guess he's related through Hank, and God, I do not remember his name. Hold on. Alright, so apparently this guy's name is Gomez. He's a cop, so yeah. Alright, that wraps up for the I guess, Walter-centric people. Now we've got Jesse. Jesse is amazing. Starts off, in sort of a rough spot in life. He's a bit of a burnout, but unlike Walter, is able to perform introspection and grow. Doesn't, it's a slow process for him, but by the end, he's almost completely unrecognizable. So for that, you get to be BFF. I really do enjoy Jesse and all the things he goes through. If you watch that scene where he, falls into a porta potty and then cries himself to sleep, you don't feel something for the guy. Like, I honestly think you're probably a monster, and I want nothing to do with you. Let's see. Then we got Badger. Badger's pretty cool. He's like someone who, I don't know, he's probably fun to be around, but you would keep him around as like an example of what not to do with your life. And for that, you get to be in the crew, Badger. Then we got Skinny Pete. I want to say it's like the same deal with Badger. I haven't seen El Camino yet, so I know they're probably featured prominently in it. So I don't have a whole lot to say about his character other than if he runs with Jesse, he's probably good in my book. So there you go. Also, I just noticed they don't have combo here, so don't cut the whole gang. Dang, they're also missing a bunch of other prominent characters. That's too bad. Then we got Jane. Jane can make it to BFF just because she's hot. Okay. Let me backpedal. On the outside, and I guess this is the inside too. She is very manipulative. Sort of. Doesn't quite take control, but influences Jesse in how he deals with Walter, which also gets him a hook on heroin. But I mean, hey, I'd get hooked on heroin too. And Kristen Ritter, if you happen to be watching this, reach out to me. All right, who next we got? Let's do Tuco. Tuco is an unhinged maniac. Yeah, I dig it. What's this guy's name? Ted? Yeah, Ted. Okay. Ted is I don't think he quite knew about the whole situation with Walter and Skylar. I think from his point of view, they were probably separated. However, he is actively participating in the labor aristocracy, so for that, it's on site. May the guillotines come for you when they first come, Ted. I guess is an interesting character in that, while like Ted, he is also part of the labor aristocracy, and that would already get most people bad in my book. However, he's different in that he's motivated purely by revenge against other exploiters of the gentle worker. So for that, we could be friends. Now Hector killed Gus's lover and is shown in a flashback to be an abusive adult figure towards the twins. So on that note alone, I feel like it's a bitter enemy type thing. Not quite on sight because, once again, I would be murdered, most likely. Now Mike is like the grandfather I never knew. He acts as sort of like a father figure to Jesse. Absolutely despises Walter. And for that, I almost want to put you in the crew, though, once again, old people do kind of make me uncomfortable, so work friends it is. Now Saul, he's like a slimy, wily weasel type, looking out for his own interests, but will make you money if the circumstances allow. I can depend on a guy like that. Into the crew you go, Saul. Alright, now with Lydia, if I'm being 100% honest, I don't remember too much about her character. She's like a germaphobe. Also, Todd is a massive creep towards her, so I sympathize. Also, I didn't quite understand why Walt did what he did with her, but, there's a lot of things that Walt did that I don't quite understand, and for that, Lydia, you get to be work friends. I see myself being friendly with you. Now, there are some characters on here who, or weren't on here, rather, such as, off the top of my head, Combo, you can make it to the crew. Todd and Jack's gang. I would put them on site, though they have a massive arsenal of weapons and, put people into slavery. So I'd probably ease that back to bitter enemies just out of self-preservation, though they are Nazis, which kind of knocks them sort of in between bitter enemies and on site. And I think that about wraps it up. How'd you like this list? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What are some things you disagree with, and how would you rate the characters yourselves? Do let me know in the comments. And next time. Look forward to whatever I'm doing. Maybe I'll play a game or something. I don't know. See ya.